fun sound, right? That sounds better. Hey Sierra, this is Corbett with your weekly action plan. You know, that string was out of tune. Strings on a guitar need to have just the right tension in order to be in harmony with the rest of the strings and get the sound that you really want out of them. Now, our passage in Hebrews this past Sunday is a lot like that. The author reminds us that we need encouragement, regular encouragement as Christians in our walk with Christ in order to continue. And we see that this encouragement comes in the form of both truth and grace. And when I say truth and grace, I don't mean truth and not truth. I mean telling people what they need to hear, but to do it with kindness and respect. We see that example is perfect in Jesus. There's a story in the 11th chapter of John we read where Jesus goes to see a couple of his friends, Mary and Martha, and their brother has died and they're sad. He shows up and their response to Jesus is the same, but Jesus' response to them is different. With Martha, he responds to her with the words that she needs to hear, the encouragement that will bring her out of her mourning. And with Mary, it's different. There are no words. He just mourns. He allows himself to weep and be with her because that's exactly what she needed to be encouraged in that moment. Now, the reality is you and I, well, we're good at one, but not usually both of those. We're either truth tellers, right? We are fixers. We want to solve the problem, and we don't really care how people feel about it. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have the feelers, the grace-only crowd, and they tend to shy away from telling the truth to people because they're afraid of how people are going to respond. But we learn in this passage that there's a balance of both, and you and I need to recognize. So 3 things you can do today. The first is this: spend some time in prayer. Ask God to show you where you're weak and you need to grow in either one of these 2 areas. 2, find somebody you trust, somebody you know that will tell you the truth, and ask them which area you can grow in the most. And 3, write down John 1:14, which says that Jesus, our example, was full of both grace and truth. And live it out today, guys. See you Sunday.